Hello, my name is Kathy Rado, and my student number is 11093845, and I'm doing ED 5952. For assessment 2, we are to critique an existing lesson plan and its perspectives and pedagogies that are already embedded within the lesson, looking for both strengths and weaknesses. Well, my lesson plan is surrounding the story of Tiddalik the Frog, and it is about watching and discussing a dreaming story, considering the importance of water, and perhaps build a water habitat diorama, or I was going to do an art lesson. But the curriculum links to it are actually English, literature, literacy, science, biological sciences, the arts, and media arts. I won't put every single link because there's about 10 different curriculum links pertaining to the lesson. The learning objectives, and it is aimed at, say, year 1, students will watch and discuss a dreaming story, which is great to start them so early on a dreaming story. Understand the importance of stories to Aboriginal people, because of course Aboriginal people came from the Dreamtime, and they're the longest living surviving civilization on this planet, and they knew how to conserve water and use fire very effectively, so effectively that even rangers and people today use their methods, learn from them. Anyway, a bit off track. Students will explore features of different habitats. They will consider why water is an important part of habitats, construct a diorama of a water habitat, and optionally they could create stop motion animation video set in their habitat, or optionally they could measure how long different plants can survive with water. For example, a cactus as opposed to a tomato plant or a native plant. One um, disappointment I probably have with the optional learning objectives is that a lot of Torres Strait Islander students may not have access to technology whereby they can create a stop motion animation video, but we may have these in the school. Anyway, these were only optional. So, in short, it's just students going to watch and discuss a dreaming story, which relates to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander learning pedagogy, so that's great. So, really, there's not many weaknesses in this lesson plan. It is relatable to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students as well as other students. And there is learning that can take place. We're going to be considering water and the importance of water. And as well, we'll be exploring features of different habitats and why water is important. And also, we'll be understanding the importance of stories to Aboriginal people, and it will bring all the students together. Perhaps we could even, have the story read outside under a tree, because it is a bit hard to, take them like out an excursion to a pond. Perhaps the school has a pond and there might be some frogs there. Okay. there are many, yeah, like I said, there's many curriculum links. So that's good because this lesson will prepare children for, the world outside, or prepare them for what they are meant to learn education wise, curriculum wise. It is, we may have to modify excuse the lesson a bit. Perhaps some students don't understand English, they might only know Creole, depending where you teach or read this book and have the lesson. All right, to engage and set the scene, questions that you would ask are, when is the last time that you were really, really thirsty? And most children could answer this. How much water did you drink when you finally had a chance to have some? And as I have a cold, excuse me, I'm going to have some now. What's your favourite drink? Were you ever on an outing and only had a little bit of water with you? Did you share it with others, or did you drink all of it? Now, these questions do relate to Tiddalik because he was a very thirsty frog. The name for Tiddalik, the correct name is Silarana platycephala, and Tiddalik is a water-holding frog, a frog that holds water and takes the water from everybody else until he's made to laugh, and then he dispels the water and all the other animals can have it and it can go back into the water hole. An extension lesson could be, even at a young age, we could be talking about, you know, you know, recycling and climate change. Okay, in exploring the lesson, and the equipment and links are the books Tiddalik the Frog 1 and Tiddalik the Frog 2. We would discuss when exploring, can you name the animals in the story? So this is a good comprehension exercise. Of course, a lot of Torres Strait and Islander children are rather shy. We could get them to draw perhaps what they've seen. What did Tiddalik do that upset the animals? Why was not having any water a problem for the animals? And how did the animals try to solve the problem? And what happened in the end? Do you think the story is trying to teach us something? Okay, so I'm just watching my time now. Importantly, uh, I would be looking at Grant's holistic approach. Like, for example, he was saying when he went to Hopevale, a tree is just not a tree. And he developed the holistic approach with another person. And this shows how a tree is connected to people and connected to the land, and how people are connected to the land. So I would be following some of Grant's approach. And I also, the fellow peer from uni that wrote the thesis, the 8-way of learning, I would be following some of that to make the lesson more modified and more fun. Anyway, I'll end for now. We'll be creative. We'll do story sharing, a yarning circle. Be well, everyone. And I hope you got something out of this. Thank you. learning maps. We could deconstruct and construct. The new pedagogy, even for Indigenous students, is a lot like the old pedagogies from not so long back, where everything was integrated. So in that way, it's not a lot different to other learning pedagogy where they were linking subjects together. Thank you.